Hi, Wes. Welcome to the
Hello.
On the Mezzanine podcast. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Really good, thank
So,
you.
do you want to explain who you are? Who's Tech Noir?
Yeah, so I'm Wes Nike. I kind of manage and run the Tech Noir nights. Uh, the idea for Tech Noir came about through meeting Nicolo through a friend of mine who'd played here. She said, I think you'll really get on with the guy who runs Mezzanine. He loves his movies. He loves his music. So I came down here and checked out the place, and I just thought it was ideal because I was already running another night in Shoreditch called Out There. But with this night, we wanted to come up with a bit of a movie flavour for it. So the club in the first Terminator is called Tech Noir. So I thought that would be a really good name for a night. And then we're just about to do our fourth night now. We've been building it as it goes and getting in different talent for each night, both young and old. So the idea really just came about through visiting the space, seeing the movie posters, kind of me and my younger self thinking, what would I want a club night to be in? Yeah, the Terminator
Oh, that's
referencing.
great.
Tech Noir is also a term that talks about science fiction being mixed with like noir, spy fiction, and that sort of Humphrey Bogart style. So the mixture of fiction seemed perfect for like the mixture of music as well. It seemed to
That's very
hit
interesting.
on a couple of different levels.
So, just for context, the Mezzanine is based in Tooting Market, and there's lots of little posters of like iconic films and TV series as you come in, as well as like loads of vinyl records, just to set the scene. So how long have you been involved in music?
So I've been involved in music probably for about 5 or 6 years. I was around music quite a lot as a younger kid because my brothers were in bands and often playing in Manchester. But I was always the one who was kind of more the music appreciator or carrying the equipment. And then when I moved to London, I really got into the rave scene. My first sort of big London rave was probably in like 2011. And I went to see John Digweed and Eric Prydz at Alexandra Palace.
Nice.
And there was this amazing kind of 3D visual show. And I was hooked instantly. But it was a lot more years until I decided to put on an event. So I spent years just on the dance floor kind of taking it in. And also meeting a lot of people who are now working with me on these events, but not knowing at the time that we were going to work together musically. I was always just a music appreciator. And then it was during lockdown, really, that a lot of me and my mates bought small decks, started mixing at home. And as we were coming out of lockdown, starved of any company or human touch, we were kind of like, we should put our own event on. And that's kind of how it started, really. And it started quite small. My ex-girlfriend, Teresa, we put on an event for her birthday, Shoreditch. And then that kind of snowballed into the first night, which was Out There. And then
Where was that in Shoreditch?
It's a great rave pub, if you've never been there, called the Horse and Groom. It's been there for years. Nice. So we still play there now, actually.
Oh, great.
So yeah, that was kind of the little history, really, of the events. And I still don't consider myself like a big, major sort of promoter or anything like that. I do it for the love of it. It's kind of a hobby. And I'm an illustrator and graphic designer, so I love to kind of pour all of my illustration and branding and graphics knowledge into it as well.
Is that why you were quite drawn to the visual element in Alexandra Palace?
That was the thing that blew me away. But also that night, I thought I was going to see Eric Prydz, the cheesy Call On Me DJ. And it was Prider, the alias. And there was these 3D visuals. And I just remember the whole night. It was like a kind of lightning bulb went off. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what is this?
Yeah.
What more of this?
Yeah. We saw Eric Prydz in Ibiza. And then a festival in Clapham Common. I can't remember the name.
SW4.
Yeah. And that was like mind-blowing. Because people were like reaching out and trying to like touch the lasers.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Unfortunately, we can't do that as much in the Mezzanine, but
we do actually have ideas of visuals. The other guy that I play with, John, a veteran, amazing DJ who I met in Love International, he makes his own visuals, and also I've met some other people. So I would like to involve a bit more of a visual element here.
Yeah.
I think you could do something with one of the walls, but it's one of those things. I like to add a little piece every time we do something.
Yeah. Kind of test out your ideas.
Test out the ideas,
Yeah. Oh, great.
And I've just actually met a guy through an animation project who does visuals for Deck Mantle and does these great big screen visuals. He's an amazing kid. So I might try and rope him into coming helping us out one night. But I think with any of these things, it's like you have a little family and you gradually add people to the family and as it goes forward.
Yeah, we definitely we have the same thing. It started out me and my partner, and then now we like employ his cousins to do the door and the editing of this podcast. Shout out to Bailey.
Keeping it in the family.
Yeah, so and you work with your niece, is that right?
Yeah, so
is it singing she does?
She studied at the Brit School. She did singing and performance. She's now doing music management in Liverpool. But I'd had in the back of my mind that she'd sing with us. She does her own productions. Done a couple of sort of slightly ravey tracks, a bit more like teenage friendly, I guess. Yeah. And I was like, would you consider coming singing with us? She's kind of changed up a lot of what I do. When she sings for an hour, I try and throw in a bit of drum and bass, which I don't really DJ, a few different styles. She does almost like an MC type thing.
That's really cool.
So at the last gig, she was out front of the decks and I was doing the beats in the back. She was kind of like vibing with her mates, who were also all musicians as well. So shout out to Jess. She's absolutely fucking amazing, Jess. And the level of confidence that she has at 20 blows my mind because she was singing, she was going off getting drinks, vibing with the crowd. She really kind of brought the night together. And I think she elevated the warm-up in a very special way. By the time John came on, the room was kind of like going for it. And Jess had just been kind of like rapping and vibing with the crowd. And she's a natural, she's a real star. So it's been a pleasure. And for me as well, like, see her kind of in a club setting, having so much fun. So it's a pleasure.
Great. Yeah, it's nice to be able to empower like people in your life who are also involved in the creative stuff and like bring everyone together and have that kind of community sense. It's really nice.
Yeah, I think all of these things are trying to get a ragtag collection of people together and just see if it works.
Yeah.
But I love that in our nights we do have people from 20 to 60 all partying together.
Yeah.
And
you find it all works, everyone like gets along.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and some of the 20-year-olds were saying, "Oh, we didn't know old people had this much fun," and I was like, "Well, yeah, like."
A bit rude.
No, but it was a really nice comment. It was kind of like, and that's kind of the idea of it, really, to bring good people, creative people together.
Yeah.
So I don't think you ever age out of music.
No, I agree, and I mean, I'm 29 now, but I do have quite a lot of people who say, I've grown out of the clubbing era. I think kind of rave and dance music is not something you grow out of. It's like something that your relationship kind of changes as you get older. And actually for me, a lot of the events or festivals I've enjoyed going to, they have older people there. So it's more of a mature, like respectful element a lot of the time. So
everyone looks really after each other, don't they?
Yeah, not like a load of like young people, I think, of just going out maybe to like probably drink excessively and film everything for TikTok and it's like kind of wholesome family vibe. It's nice.
Yeah, because there's that whole thing recently about everyone filming things on their phones. But I do find if you're at certain events, that's not the case for old or young people. That's what you see on sort of YouTube where people are complaining about it.
Yeah.
But I was out at Deep Dish at Fabric last week. And that was a real like eclectic age range. And no one was filming and they stick at the cameras. Everyone's chatting to each other.
Yeah.
And especially like we were chatting about, you're from Brighton or you lived in Brighton originally. Yeah. When I was down in Brighton, there's a very kind of healthy old rave scene there.
Yeah.
And some of the old ravers, I would say, have got more energy than the younger kids.
Yeah. No, that doesn't surprise me. So you live in Brighton now?
Yeah, so I've just moved to Brighton 1st of February. And trying to make my stamp in Brighton.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different than London, but I'm really enjoying the vibe there.
Yeah. What do you think is like the biggest difference?
Having the beach. Just being able to walk down to the beach
miss the beach.
Sort of chill out. And I think I have my best ideas at the beach.
The kind of nightlife scene is a bit different there because of that, or?
Yeah, it's a little different. Brighton, I knew Brighton quite well because my ex lived there for quite a while, so I've been down there a lot. And obviously I've got some friends there. But it's different living there. But the whole sort of back to mind culture at Brighton seems more prevalent. Like in London, you can go out until the next morning. There's not as many places in Brighton to do that.
No. Yeah, I think it's like 3 or 4, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Although I do remember the Arch.
the
Brighton would
Arch.
kind of just keep going until about 6.
Oh, is that still going now? The Arch.
I don't actually know. I haven't been out in Brighton in years now.
Yeah.
I
I know Patton's is one I've been to a few
yeah,
times.
Patton's is fun. I do like that with
Concord
a few different
too.
floors. Yeah, they often book a lot of kind of like gigs or artists rather than
Yeah.
just club nights. But there's some great pubs in Brighton. We go to the Tempest all the time.
Oh,
We'd have
yeah.
the techno
That's
in
good.
summer.
Oh,
Like,
they do techno in the Tempest.
They do, yeah. Well, they did when we lived there, and they'd have
Right.
a DJ outside, and then you'd kind of come from like a beach day, go to the Tempest, have a bit of a dance, the outside bit. That was really good.
So did Ollie ever DJ in the Tempest?
Yes, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Ollie's the other half of Thursday nights, for anyone listening. Yeah. So we kind of know the Brighton scene quite well.
Yeah.
So how do you find the kind of like generation gap in the audience in Brighton? Do you think it's quite a mix, or is it a particular age group?
I think it's quite mixed, and it's not something I ever thought about all that much, really. I've just like raved, obviously, since I raved quite late, really. Like I went to some events in Manchester as a kid, but got into it in my 30s. So I've always thought of myself as a bit old to be out. But then I was just like, well, I just love music. I'm never going to stop loving music. And then I started DJing later in life. And then I met a few other DJs who just learned later in life. So the generation gap is never something I think about too much. And if I'm chatting to someone, it's just more about if they're vibing with the sort of music I like. But what I do love is hearing what's going on that's new, or seeing the stuff that younger kids are responding to as well. Sometimes it's something coming back around that I liked the first time. And they'll be like, oh, I've just discovered this acid house music. And I'm like, oh, well, let me tell you about acid house. You know, then I get all mansplaining. But like, I do love it. I love chatting to people of all ages. And what I found on the dance floor is that, you know, the younger people aren't what they're portrayed like in the media, all with the phones out.
No.
It's just having fun like everyone else, and still excited and still artistic. And
and I think that's what we like young people do want deep down. You know, it's I guess there's like the pressure of the prices of everything.
Yeah.
And the kind of that's a big barrier to going out now.
Yeah.
And maybe like lack of community, because you know people don't have as much money and maybe they don't know what's going on locally. But I think that's why it's like nice having Tooting. It often feels it's now something in South London that's for local people. Like
it's great. Yeah, it's lovely.
From here, we often like see the same people, and there's quite a lot of clubbing environments where you wouldn't see the same people.
Yeah,
and you feel quite isolated. Whereas here, I just go around like smiling to everyone, and everyone sort of smiles back, and that's really nice. People don't look at you like, "What are you doing?"
That is lovely that you get return customers. I've seen friendly faces that I saw before. I've seen that a little bit on the rave scene, but like the great thing about here is it's so intimate that everyone's getting to know each other as the night goes. And that's one of my favorite things, is to introduce people. Like you'll get on with that person.
Oh.
And then those friendships kind of spiral out, and then they bring other people in. And eventually you realize that everyone knows each other, and you're thinking, they met at the night. Yeah, that's how they know each other. So I'm going to hit the mic. But there is that family element that I once saw on trance events. And I'm not a massive trance head, but I've been to a few events with people, and they have the wristbands. The trance family have been going for 20, 30 years. There's a big age range. It's that very kind of like, they come out a couple of times a year and they're all together and they all know each other and they're all in each other's lives and looking after each other. And I think that community aspect of it is what I really responded to about raving down in London, that perhaps wasn't there in Manchester as much as I would have. It was a little bit more sketchy in Manchester. You go to the Warehouse Project, you got to watch yourself a little bit.
Don't make eye contact with anyone.
Don't make eye contact. People in parkers, they're friendly, but kind of like, "Can I, mate? Can I help you out?" You know what I mean? And but the London rave scene just seems so much more inclusive.
Yes,
I think, and that might just be my picture of how I was feeling about Manchester at the time.
It depends where you go. I would say clubbing feels a lot different to raving.
Yeah,
clubbing. There's some like clubs I've walked into, and then I realize I can't make eye contact with any man because they all assume that you're ready to be chatted up.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
with a rave, I don't often feel like that. I do feel quite safe a lot of the time, and like
I mean,
everyone's on the same wavelength.
yeah,
Which is really
I do
nice.
feel like that is a good group of ravers are more like a collective, all there for the same reason. And there's
Yeah.
this energy that's not about that. It's not about starting a fight or
No.
chatting to someone. And then, but within that, you do end up meeting people in a much more relaxed way
Yeah,
as well.
like an authentic way.
Yeah, in an
Yeah.
authentic way. You're
Yeah.
talking about art or creativity or the music, and the conversations flow. And often some of the best friends you meet in the smoking area while you're all out kind of rabbiting your faces off. I did love the London scene for that, and I've had so many good experiences and a couple of bad ones, but very few and far between.
That's really good.
But in Manchester, I feel like it's more all the local towns are coming down to go to a big event. But there's not the same kind of core group of ravers
Yeah.
who might be there for different reasons. So you can sometimes run into a bit of trouble if the lot from Oldham come down and don't like the lot from Stalybridge or something like that.
Yeah, the drama.
Which was there can be a bit more drama and everyone's a bit more tense.
Yeah.
But that might have changed. I'm going back a while now, so that was my view of it. And then getting to London was a totally different feeling and different kind of experience. And I think all of those things together are what I try and take to put the best bits into our events, so that hopefully everyone comes away feeling they've seen some awesome music first off, but also that they've met a load of good people that they might want to hang out with again.
Yeah, you have quite a lot of DJs on your lineup, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about how you kind of like build the relationships, like how you
Yeah.
met each other?
So there's some good stories. I first met Greg Newman, aka Blank Page, who does his own productions, and Cakey, his friend Tom Cakebread.
Good name.
I met Cakey on a day out with some art friends, and he was hammered, and we were going to go to Anjuna Deep Night in Fire, or I was going to go on my own, should I say? And I said to Tom, "Do you want to come?" And I thought he'd never show up, you know. And I'm there dancing away in the middle of Fire on my own, and then Cakey showed up with a friend of his, and we became fast friends ever since. Ended up kind of learning some DJ techniques off him, and then Greg I met through Cakey, and he kind of showed me, took me to Pirate Studios and showed me properly how to DJ. And that was kind of where I really learned a lot of the basics, was through Greg. And I always said, one night I'll get you onto one of the shows we're doing, because it'd be lovely to go full circle. And they've now played on a couple of shows here at the Mezzanine, and it's so lovely. They're so good together. They're such a good duo. But yeah, I'll encourage anyone to go check out Greg's music. We'll pop the link in the descriptions, maybe. And
yeah, I'll do that.
And his stuff's wonderful. It's all like quite melodic stuff. And then John, who's the other DJ who plays here regularly, I met him on a boat party in Love International, and there was a thunderstorm, so the boat had to stay out with the skies going purple. It's in Tisno in Croatia, lightning crashing down. And I met John and his partner Terry on the boat, and we really vibed together and found out he was a DJ. And then when I got back, he invited us to a party at Notting Hill. So he runs this annual party at his house in Notting Hill.
Oh, for the carnival?
For post-carnival party.
Yeah.
And I went down there. It was going off. It was amazing. All these people coming in with feathers on their heads and stuff. And then John said, when you come back next year, if you want to DJ, because I was learning at the time. So the next Notting Hill party I DJ'd. And then we've known each other for a lot longer since, but then I finally got him on board to come here to the Mezzanine. And he's amazing. He absolutely kills it. Like the last one he did, he brought a little Acid 303 machine and was DJing and doing this thing with the machine. And I was just like, whoa. And all the crowd here were like...
Well, can you explain what that machine does?
It basically recreates kind of acid house sounds.
Okay.
But you can do those sounds on top of the set while you're DJing.
Wow,
So,
it's like live making music.
So like live acid sounds. So he was adding those to kind of break beats, some more kind of South London D&B stuff and house, and was just flowing effortlessly in through all the genres. And I could see the crowd was just really going for it. So to see him do that after knowing him for all those years, and to see him really smash it, I was just like, oh my God, this is incredible. So I do love the fact that on the show, I can get a couple of DJs in who are way better than me and learn from them as I'm doing it, and also see what effect they're having on the crowd. So it's a pleasure really to take those connections and
That's great.
sort of smush them all together on
Yeah.
the.
Do they play a lot of their own stuff?
John also produces his own stuff. Yeah, they do both play their own tracks as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Getting new music.
Yeah,
out there.
they're both amazing. Well, that's the name of our other night out there, which is
Okay.
yeah, what I call all the nights out there nights.
That's the one in Shoreditch?
Yeah, that's the one in Shoreditch.
How do you find the difference between Tooting and Shoreditch?
Tooting
I
seems.
say that because we went to 93 Feet East literally last night. So
okay, yeah. Who'd you see?
Ollie's friend, AJ Moreno, and then to be honest, I don't know who else. We didn't stay for very long. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting crowd there. I think quite a lot of people from Essex went to that area. But yeah, what do you think are like the differences? Because Shoreditch has got a very kind of strong nightlife culture, and Tooting is really just beginning. So
I would say Tooting it's a very much younger crowd.
Oh, okay.
But no less enthusiastic about the music. Shoreditch is a bit older. There's more kind of an eclectic range of like. There's creative people, but there's also like bankers and kind of architects and things like that who are out for a night out.
Yeah.
I think we're quite lucky because the Horse and Groom is known the kind of rave pub, but it also
is it a proper traditional pub?
It's a proper traditional pub on 2 floors.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Neil and Charles at the Horse and Groom, by the way, who have been awesome with us. But they do a lot of disco nights and soul nights, a similar thing to what Nicolo's doing here.
Yeah.
But they've been doing it for like 20 plus years, even longer, really. And so the vibe's just similar, but like a little bit older and a little bit more eclectic. Whereas you tend to find the market is more here full of younger people who just they want to find somewhere to come and party.
That's what we found as well. Some people come for the event, and then some people come just because they're like going out.
Yeah.
So they just want to have a dance, which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you sort of like build relationships with, bar owners, pub owners, and that sort of thing? And like, I mean, with Nico, we found it so easy.
Yeah.
Very receptive, but it can be a challenge to sort of get your foot in the door and then build something.
I'd found emailing people was useless.
Yeah.
The
or
people
like Instagram request messages, people don't look at those things.
Yeah, just no one looks at anything virtually.
No.
So I tend to get my backpack on and go in for a few beers if I like a place, and then just casually try and ask if they book any DJs, if they're interested in any nights, and then sort of steer the conversation around a bit. I try and do it in the most relaxed way possible. The way this happened was an amazing friend of mine called Jojo, who DJ'd in Beto at Balham, and I'd played with her a few nights. She'd played here, and she said, I think your sound, your sort of tech housey sound, would go really well in this venue that I've played. So she basically set up the meeting with Nicolo, and I came and we just vibed off each other straight away. And he was really excited about me putting a night on.
Yeah.
So that happened really organically, thanks to Jo, really. She was so nice to sort of put that meeting in place. And then Nicolo and me got on really instantly about movies, about music. And I would say the best nights I've put on have happened without me trying too hard.
Yeah.
Which is sort of like the best relationships or the best anything. As soon as you stop thinking too hard about it. But obviously manifesting it and having all those things in my mind. And then the Horse and Groom night obviously happened through my ex and that birthday party. And then that had gone so well. People spent so much on the bar that he was like, do you want to come back and do it again?
That's great.
And then I started ticking away thinking, we could do a night.
Yeah.
And that was with 2 friends of mine, Ollie and Ben, who I've DJ'd with over the years. And so we the 3 of us kind of, put that together. And then there's been other things now that have popped up through just having nights on. Like I met a guy called Tanisha Tamamovic, who's a big league DJ abroad who lives in London. And I've helped him out now on a couple of Nightlight nights, which is his record label. And I met him randomly. There was a good story to that, actually. I met some friends, Gaz and Zoki, through lockdown. to go back, actually, I met a guy called Mario in a club in Berlin.
Okay.
We hung out. I came back to London, met Gaz and Zoki through Mario during lockdown. We all went to a house party together, and I put on a DJ, and I said, "This guy Sanish is incredible."
Oh, for a house party.
For like
Wow.
a YouTube DJ thing, and then Zoki
Yeah.
was like, "He's my childhood friend.
Oh,
I know him from
yeah.
back in the day." And so I met him, and over the years got to know him. So I've ended up doing events with him now as well. But all these connections through like various parties.
Yeah,
So,
you build a really strong community with people
yeah,
through that, don't you? Which is really nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you make any of your own music? Do you,
Um,
at that point?
I've actually started very roughly on Ableton to I've got a couple of track ideas, so I'm going to work on them with my brother who's got a music studio. But I feel like that's where I'm lagging painfully behind, is that I need by the end of the year to hopefully have made a tune. So I'm still learning from people who do it really well. But yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, if I've managed to DJ
You've
and
got
put
this.
nights on this late into my life, I think making a tune
Yeah, definitely.
could be the next thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would love to make an out there vinyl with all of the people who DJ at the nights
Yeah.
that each put a track on
Oh,
and
that would be
collaborate.
really nice.
Maybe put my first track at the bottom of
Yeah.
that, so that it's kind of like a thing that we could have. And so that's the idea. So let's
Oh,
see.
that's really
Let's see.
nice.
Just
Yeah.
need to pull my finger out and
Yeah.
learn the technology.
I mean, it's hard to I think manage your time and energy sometimes when you've got like full-time job,
Yeah.
event stuff, it's like a balance between being so busy you can end up stifling creatively a little bit.
Yeah.
You've got to keep your passion alive for all these things.
I'm the same at
Sort
the
of
moment. I'm
juggling a
trying
lot.
to keep the art going that I do. And some weeks I find it's all admin. I think I've not even done a mix this week, or I've not even done anything creative. So it is very difficult. Like, you can sometimes be at the computer or doing the graphics all week or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got to kind of be like, right, no, 2 days now, I'm just going to do art, or I'm just going to do
Yeah.
mixing, or it is very difficult to juggle those. And I don't get the balance right all the time. And
No.
sometimes I find I'm there at 3 a.m. going insane
Oh no.
when I should be sleeping and getting up and giving it a go in the morning. But I can't think of any other way I'd rather live my life. So I think the madness and the roller coaster nature of it just is a natural thing that I've got to stick with.
Bit chaotic.
Sometimes, yeah. But Brighton's chilled me out. I can go to the beach now and just sit and stare at the waves for a bit. And
Yeah. I do miss that now.
I think sometimes as well, you think your own creative stuff is so important because it's your world, that you need to just step out of it sometimes. I think it's ridiculous. I'm doing a little night in Tooting, doing some pictures, and it's fun. But sometimes for me, it's like this massive thing that I'm trying to kind of wrangle in my head.
Yeah, because it's quite pressurizing, I suppose, isn't it? If you think, if I don't get this right, people might not respond properly. But I think it's just better to keep trying. And I always think if you do something like 95% good, may as well go with it rather than think, I've got to be like a perfectionist or get it to 100% every time. And like people responding really well to the night. So you've got to keep going, keep learning from it every time, which is nice.
I think that's really true and very wise, because it took me a lot of years to get to that point. Now I'm pretty relaxed, and I am more like that. Like, if it's not perfect, or if like with a DJ set or a piece of art or any kind of creative endeavor, you can be striving for perfection, but you can get to that point. I've had friends who do that, but they never release anything, or they never put anything on, and they're always talking about how wonderful they are in the bedroom. But I think finishing something and getting it out there and getting it done is so important. And actually learning that really freed me up to be a much better artist. Because I would say, like, a lot of the projects I did when I was younger, they're not perfect, but I got them done. I finished them. I learned off it. And I think that's the great thing about doing a night and getting it done, is that you learn from the people coming to your night. You learn from the other people you work with. And you sort of learn that nothing's ever perfect. And a DJ set anyway can go completely wrong, but then be brilliant 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
And it can be the best night, and people can come up and be like, I've had the best time ever. And you think, that transition, about 20 minutes in, that'll haunt me for weeks. But no
And
one,
people don't realise what goes wrong a lot, especially in a club environment, right?
Yeah.
People are not always got close attention to detail, and they just, they're just there to have a good time. They won't
Yeah.
remember the things that you remember. But yeah, it's quite funny, like the amount of sort of work it takes behind the scenes, and then people just show up for like 4 hours, and you spent weeks, planning all these things. When we did an event for New Year's Eve, I had like a whole ceremony planned for the midnight. And in the end, it was so busy, I just couldn't do any of it. So I had this box full of all these like interesting things. I just like left it somewhere. I had a little sign. I couldn't even get up the stairs to do it. And then everyone's having the best time though. Like no one cares. You know? And you think, oh, it's actually not that important. Just as long as it comes together in the end,
Yeah, a good night. It's almost just about lighting the match.
Yeah.
And then where it goes is sometimes not where you would expect.
No, yeah.
But it can be a wonderful kind of creative, in the moment thing. Because I had worked before this job for years in a computer game company, and everything was so locked down and so kind of regimented, and they would take years and think about every decision, which is not a bad way to make something. But coming out of that and putting nights on, I was just like, oh, the free flowing thing. You can't have 10 meetings about a DJ set while you're doing the DJ set. You've got to let it go. And then if something goes wrong, you just got to let it go. You just got to keep powering on and hope that the vibe is good enough, and hope that your collaborators are going to pick up the slack, or all of that stuff, So I actually I enjoy that. And I don't feel I'm a perfectionist. I just feel like I want something to be great, but I'll do a lot more work than gets seen. But that also makes it seem more natural, I think, because you've got a backup if something goes wrong. You've got some tunes if something's not quite the right vibe, or you've got, it's about being prepared, really. But also then not being too
prepared but spontaneous at the same time.
I'd just like to say we've got a night coming up on the 23rd of May. I don't know when this goes out, but everyone should come down to that. That's going to be awesome. Tickets on Resident Advisor. You can check out my SoundCloud, Out There Music, and DJ Wes Nike if you want to follow me. And I'll put all of the other DJs' links in the description. And
great.
Just enjoy the music.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. We always ask at the end, what's your hot take on the music industry?
Oh, wow.
So you can say anything you like, a bit controversial, just your opinion.
Well, I actually think the music industry's in a really good place for the smaller artists. I keep seeing things on Spotify, which I'm not a big fan of. I keep seeing things on Instagram about the bigger music industry. My thought would be, fuck the major labels, fuck Spotify, fuck all that crap.
Yay.
And do small things with your mates. Create small events where you keep all the money. Make your own label, make your own music. And if you've got 2,000 fans who are paying regularly, or you've got, a smaller group of people, that's better, isn't it, than having a major label take all of your money and destroy your life and make you do music you don't want to do anyway. Because I'm coming to it from the outside, but I've seen the corporate world in film, TV, games, and it can be a very depressing world. People can put their thumb on you and squash all your creativity out of you and abuse you. But I would say the music industry is in a great place if you don't want to get to the top. You just want to, and also really enjoy the nights you're doing while you're doing them. Don't always think about it leading somewhere, because you can miss all of the amazing stuff in the moment. And I'm really enjoying it even more now because I've started it older. But each night to me is just like the best thing ever.
Aww.
So the state of the music industry is fine. There's amazing musicians. Like I saw my niece's friends play in Brighton the other week, and I was just so inspired. There's so much good music out there. I just think it's like, don't worry too much about the big picture. But yeah, watch out for the sharks.
Yeah. Wow, that's really good advice, definitely. That's something that me and Ollie talk about quite a lot as well. It's quite difficult to crack into the music industry, and you don't know who knows each other and who's helped someone through a family connection, or when something's fabricated on social media. So it's so nice to live in the moment, do your own events. You've created something that's real.
Yeah.
Maybe it's quite small, but it's like yours and it's authentic. And
yeah,
it's the best feeling. So
it's an
good
amazing
to just
feeling.
hold on to that and not think, oh, I need to do better or I need to be in the charts or whatever, because you're creating something real that impacts people's lives, you know.
Yeah. It's nice to want to do it as a job and a career. But yeah.
Well, this has been really nice. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Okay.